about getting a curly haircut, but feeling overwhelmed by all the different names? Deva Cut, Rezo Cut, dry cuts, wet cuts. It can feel like everyone is telling you their method is the best. The truth is, each cutting technique has a different purpose. Today I'll explain some of the most common curly hair cutting methods, what they're designed to do, and how to decide which one might be the best fit for your hair and your styling habits. Before we talk about specific cutting methods, it's important to understand why there are so many of them. Unlike straight hair, curly hair doesn't behave the same way from one person to the next. Some people want more volume, others want to reduce bulk. Some want a round shape, while others prefer more length or a different silhouette. On top of that, curl pattern, hair density, strand thickness, shrinkage, and even how you normally style your hair can all influence how a haircut looks once it's dry. That's why there isn't one curly haircut that's best for everyone. Each cutting method was developed with a different goal in mind. Understanding those goals makes it much easier to understand why your stylist might recommend one technique over another. One of the biggest differences between curly haircut methods is whether the hair is cut dry or wet. With a dry cut, the stylist cuts your hair while it's in its natural state. That allows them to see exactly how each curl falls, how much it shrinks, and how the overall shape looks before making adjustments. With a wet cut, the hair is cut while it's damp or soaking wet, before the curls have fully formed. Once the hair dries, it naturally shrinks, which means the final shape can look different than it did during the haircut. Neither approach is automatically better. They simply give the stylist different information to work with. A dry cut can make it easier to customize the finished shape. A wet cut may work well when the stylist understands how your curls shrink and how they'll behave once they're dry. That's why the experience of the stylist often matters just as much as the cutting method itself. Now that you know the difference between dry and wet cutting, let's look at some of the most common curly haircut methods. One of the best known methods is the Deva Cut. A Deva Cut is typically performed on dry hair with the stylist cutting curl by curl while the hair is in its natural state. The goal is to shape the curls based on how they naturally fall. Another popular method is the Rëzo Cut. The Rezo Cut is also usually performed on dry hair, but it's designed to create balance between volume, shape, and movement while helping maintain the overall length of the hair. You'll also hear about the Ouidad Cut. Unlike the previous two, the Ouidad Cut is traditionally performed on wet hair. It's known for using carving techniques to remove bulk from within the hair rather than relying on layers. You'll also come across other cutting methods like the diametric cut, the monocut, or the tunnel cut. Each technique has its own cutting philosophy and approach to shaping curls. You'll also find many stylists who have trained in multiple cutting methods. Instead of following just one technique, they combine what they've learned to create a haircut based on your curl pattern, hair density, shrinkage, length, and your overall hair goals. That's why I wouldn't focus only on the name of the haircut. What's more important is finding a stylist who understands your hair and the results you're trying to achieve. Before booking any curly haircut, there are a few questions I'd recommend asking. First, take a look at the stylist's portfolio. Do you see clients with a similar curl pattern, hair density, or hair length? If you don't automatically cross them off your list. Sometimes their portfolio simply reflects the clients who are most common in their area. That was actually my experience. When I was looking for a stylist here in Texas, most of the photos on her page featured looser curl patterns than mine. But after learning more about her experience, I found out she had trained in multiple cutting techniques, so I felt confident trusting her with my big chop. I was really happy with the results, and I'm actually waiting for my hair to grow a little longer so I can go back. Another question worth asking is whether they offer a consultation before your appointment. A consultation gives you the chance to talk about your hair, your goals, and ask questions before committing to the haircut. It's also a great opportunity to see if you feel comfortable with the stylist and whether their approach matches what you're looking for. From there, ask how they approach curly haircuts. Do they cut the hair dry, wet, or a combination of both? Then, Talk about your styling routine. Do you usually wear your hair natural, diffuse it, blow it out occasionally, or switch between different styles? The way you style your hair can influence the haircut your stylist recommends. And finally, be clear about your goals. Do you want to keep as much length as possible, reduce bulk, add more volume, or create a different shape? The more information you share, the easier it is for your stylist to recommend a haircut that fits your hair and your lifestyle. Choosing a curly haircut doesn't have to be confusing. Once you understand what each cutting method is designed to do, it becomes much easier to ask questions, communicate with your stylist, and choose a haircut that fits your hair, your routine, and your goals. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Then check out the companion blog post linked below where I cover even more curly cutting methods and additional details that we didn't have time to get into in this video. You can also follow me on Pinterest for more curly hair tips, guides, and inspiration. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.